So with that said, we're going to start the YouTube highlight from right here. We already got enough people in here. It's going to be a pretty big, busy show for the most part. I'm going to start it out with going over what I said I was going to go over yesterday, and that was the Mists of Pandaria beta changes for both Druid and a Warrior, Guardian Druid. So, let me log on to beta real quick, and we'll go ahead and get that started. So if you know anybody that plays a Guardian Druid, aka New Bear Feral Druid title in Mists, or if you know anybody that plays a Prot Warrior, if you know anybody, oh my god, okay, well, we'll go over that when they come back up. We'll go ahead and start with what I had planned for the second half of the show, and that is we're going to start over doing some armory audits and things like that. So if the servers come back up, we'll knock it out. It's not a showstopper. We'll just we'll take it as it goes. But anyways, I'll go ahead and throw it out there. If you guys know any tanks within your guild, and you know, or just have any questions in general, you guys can submit parses, videos, whatever, and we will be going through that. And then, you know, it's any questions that you guys have, we're going to go over them, and we're going to do some armory audits as well. So let's go ahead and get this started. If you scroll down to the bottom of my stream page, there's an armory audit link there that you guys can click on, and whenever you go to that, it's going to take you to the spreadsheet that we're going to be going over. And the way this is going to work is you guys submit stuff on Twitter, and this kind of blew up a lot more than what it was initially. Like initially we were able to go through every single audit that someone, you know, submitted. Okay, so what's going to happen is you know, I can't go through literally every single one because there's gotten to be too many. So what's going to happen is I'm going to pull them off Twitter during the shows, and we're going to use them then. All right, so that's what we're going to kind of have to resort to. I will at some point get to every one of them that's on the list. So if you're on one of the spots that's kind of been like gapped over just because of lack of time or whatever, you know, we're up to 137 people on the thing now. You guys go ahead, post your stream, or I'm sorry, post your armory link on my Twitter, and we'll go ahead and start doing some audits. Also, if you guys have any questions about tanking, anything tanking related, this is a show that it happens on, okay? This guy's asking if I'm able to make a lock and miss since you want to play every tank. Yes, if a warlock's actually end up being a viable tank, I'll end up doing it. That's my thing. That's what I like doing. I already have a warlock. It's just not max level. If you want to armory, it's on Illidan named Riggnaros, like Riggsaron. So, cool beans. I'm going to go ahead and start going through some of these audits that have been submitted before we get some, until people submit some new ones on the Twitter. Okay, so we already got one here. So let's go with this. Alright, so we have a Prot Warrior. We're going to start here. Put the link here. Got a Warrior. And we're going to start going with gymming. And you guys know the deal about Warriors. I kind of promote, you know, and again, I feel the need to reiterate this just because I don't want people flipping out. You know, everything that's expressed on my stream is just my opinion from playing all the tank classes through all the heroic content in this expansion. Okay, so, you know, I'll leave it at that. I've actually got a, well, the whole point I'm saying that is I don't want people, you know, thinking that their way of doing things is wrong. There's multiple ways to do things. This is just the way that I feel that is best or whatnot. Let me see. I've got a link that I want to share with you guys that Sinner sent me this week. Okay, here we go. You put an armory. Okay, this pulls from the armory. This is a cool little thing Sinner Mighty from the guild he sent me. I'm going to go ahead and put this in chat, and we're going to go from here. So if you are a tank and you're worrying about your CTC cap, let's just go ahead. We got a Prot Warrior here, so we're going to go ahead and plug them in. Oh, whoops. All right. Well, I guess that's not the way to do it. All right, it's Garg from area 52. Garg. Okay, so let's see how this works. Let's go ahead and turn on Kings, Mastery Food, Horn of Winter. And let's see where... Okay. You have... Boom. This person is... This is an awesome link. If I can give Center a high five, man. Because I was looking for this. I just kind of had to, like, you know, do it off the top of my head whenever we were, you know, going through it before. But this allows me to see people's CTC cap. So, you know, we're going to go ahead and look at this person. We're going to comment on their gymming. We're just going to say, like, good. Because, I mean, whoops. Good. Okay. You see what they're going for here is mastery, mastery, mastery parry, mastery stam. That's good. The only thing I'm going to go ahead and throw in here would be use shield block, or the shield value meta on all fights except Madness. Okay. The reason you don't need the shield block meta on Madness is just because of the impales. Whenever you're getting hit with the impale, it doesn't give a shit how much your block is for. Okay. But it does care about your armor. Alright. Let's see. Let's take a look at some other stuff. Next thing is enchants. You got dodge, wind walk, mastery, greater mastery. Boom, boom, boom. As a warrior, I would just probably, I mean, it's not wrong, but you can probably get away with 50 mastery to boots on a warrior since their mobility is so strong. Okay. Then we're going to go to reforging. Let's see, mastery and parry. I'll have to check that out. Then we got hit into parry. Hey, hang on. Let's check this out here. We got parry into dodge. Let's check out the dodge parry. Okay, so that's about good. Let's check out dodge parry. You want to probably reforge this into mastery. Trying to figure out what you... Okay, so you don't want to have this reforged into parry. You want to unreforge your neck to where you're getting... It's actually dodge mastery, so you want to leave that the same. You want to stay pretty close, but you got to remember that your parry is going to amplify with raid buffs, with your Mark of the Wild and or Battle Shout and things like that. And you know, your mastery is going to scale you higher than the parry would be for the 102.4. You're going to get more from the mastery than you would the avoidance. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you want to, if anything, reforge the parry out of this in a mastery. You can even reforge the dodge out of this in a mastery, to be honest, because you're going to get so much more out of it into mastery. And the thing with the warrior is just like your mastery, just the only fights that this tier are really bad for a warrior, really bad, are Madness and Yorsage, because those, it's just, you know, Madness because you can't block, and Yorsage just because of the magic intake. So, I mean, for Yorsage, you can kind of work around it with cooldowns, you know, good cooldown usage, good shield block timing, Tolbrad, Trinket, you know, Pain Subs, Hand of Sacks, you know, other tank 4-piece, you know, things like that. So, I mean, you can work around the Yorsage thing. I mean, you can even work around the impales on Madness, but just the warrior's weak point is the magic damage, but for the most part, you can get away with the full mastery setup. I mean, you look at it, you got more chalk. That's almost full physical damage. The mastery is going to shine really well there. You look at Zanaz. It's quite a bit of physical damage, except during the psychic drains. You could wear a TB trinket and use shield block during those. It almost reduces that completely. Then you look at, you know, like I said, Yorsage. Obviously, that's a fight warrior's got a little bit of trouble on. Hagara, you can't block the Focus Assault, but same thing, just good cooldown usage. Ultraxian, majority physical damage intake, or not majority, but quite a bit. And Gunship, you're not really going to benefit anything from Stam there. When you pick up Blackthorn, it's almost full physical damage from him, and the only deadly damage on that fight is physical, so Mastery is going to scale better than Stamina at that point. Spine, same thing, the more you block, the better. Stamina is not going to help you out nearly as much as block is on Spine, especially if you're kiting, you know, 50 plus bloods. And then you get to Madness. I mean, that's pretty, we've already been over that. Okay, so that's why you want to focus on getting Mastery instead of Avoidance, and or I'm sorry, instead of Stamina. And then the whole Mastery versus Avoidance thing is just like, you know, you don't. The way Mastery works on a warrior, once you're past the once you're past the cap, mastery keeps gaining value because every bit of that spillover. It's like as a warrior, you don't want to be fixated on 102.4. You need to be fixated on gimme, 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 gimme. Like there is no limit. You know what I mean? Once you hit 102.4 on a paladin, that's one thing. On a warrior, mastery keeps going. Every bit of that spillover in mastery starts going into crit block. Okay, so that's why you want to focus on that. You know, because the crit block is 60% reduction instead of 30% reduction. So it's basically doubling your block, you know what I mean? So it's huge for a warrior. And that's one of the strengths about a warrior is they just continue to scale. Whereas a paladin, once you hit 102.4, any other mastery is a complete waste. So that's kind of why you want to do that. So yeah, just work, you know, change around some of the reforging. Just go ahead and annotate that. Reforge for mastery over avoidance. Going past CTC cap 102.4 is fine. It just spills over into crit block. Again, if you guys want to follow along on this spreadsheet, just click it's at the bottom of the stream page. Just scroll down and you can get it going. Okay. So with that said, let's check out profs, engineering, mining. Let's see here. +1 for engineering, awesome. For Engie, drop mining for either blacksmithing or leatherworking. Oh, whoops. Okay, can't put a smiley face. Got it. And I can't do that either. Okay, can't do plus signs. Actually, I can put a smiley face, but I can't put a plus sign. Got it. Okay. Now let's move to spec and glyphs. Spec looks pretty solid. Don't have Thunderstruck or Blood and Thunder, so what are you? Oh, you got Cruelty. This is it's a good single target spec. So we're gonna comment on here. Good single target spec, but make sure to pick up the Blood and Thunder talent, as well as, what's that other one called? Thunderstruck. Thunderstruck for a tanking, a spine. Cool stuff. So not bad at all. Glyphs, do a quick once over. Didn't look that bad. Kind of hard to fuck up glyphs on a warrior. So good. All right, good stuff. All right, so that's that. If let's see, we're gonna keep doing audits. Somebody let me know if the beta servers come up. That way I don't have to keep testing it. And the way this works, I see people throwing armory audits in chat and things like that. You know, the way this works, guys, you got to put them on my Twitter. This is where I'm going to pull them off of, and we'll pull random ones off of Twitter and then go from there. And just the way that it goes is, I mean, you follow me on Twitter, put it on my Twitter, and I pull it off this. It's pretty simple, okay? I got another one here. Let's click on this. If you guys don't have the time to sign up for Twitter and post it on my Twitter or whatever, I don't have the time to go over your armory. Sorry. I'm taking the time out of my day to do this, to help educate people for, you know, whatever reason you want to label it. But I'm just telling you, you know, do your part and just follow me on Twitter and then submit it on Twitter, not the stream chat. I don't mean to be a dick, but it is what it is. Okay. Let's see. I got a pretty baller avatar, man. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? All right. Let's see here. Checking out this DK. Let's see. Started out with gymming. This guy's got mastery gym, parry mastery, stand mastery. Okay, so his gymming's spot on. Okay, it's good. It's good. Work on getting epic gems. All right, so we'll leave him with that. Need to start trimming away at some epic gems. Check out some enchants here. It's good. It's good. 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 Okay. So enchants are good to go. Show you this guy's reforging. He's mastery and dodge. Just do a quick once over here. Parrying to mastery. Dodge and mastery because there's so much more dodge. That's good. if you could pick up the tier shoulders, that would be better. I'm not sure if that's an option for you. Parry into mastery. Okay, you don't want to do that. On your cloak, reforge the expertise. Reforge expertise on your cloak instead of avoidance. And the reason for that is you don't want to have you're basically sacrificing a survivability stat for more mastery, whereas you could sacrifice the expertise, which isn't really even going to change that much of the value of mastery that you're going to gain. I mean, you probably get like what's actually have the cloak on. Let me see how much mastery you end up getting out of it. Just give me 1 second, I'll tell you. Okay, so I get 50 mastery out of it, you know, and you get 100. So you get like 54 more mastery at the cost of 104 parry. You know what I mean? So it's not like, I mean, I don't like avoidance. I like mastery more than avoidance, but I'm not saying that it's twice as good, if that makes sense. You're better off reforging out of the expertise than you are the parry, if that makes sense, okay? Let's see. Let's check out parry into mastery. That's good. That's good. Let's get the parry into dodge. That's good. I would not wear that resolve the undying trinket. I'll just go ahead and throw this in comments. Pick up either the VP trinket or the other stam trinket from DS. Okay. Let's see. Lava Walker, Draco leg armor. Hit dodge, that's good. So you got it right here. You reforged the correct stat. Obviously, you didn't pick the mastery, but hit into mastery, that's good. Parry into dodge, that's good. Let's see what you got the balance going. Parry into dodge. Yep. Okay. Parry into dodge. Parry mastery. One thing I just noticed there, you're ignoring socket bonuses. You definitely, like the 10 socket bonuses you can probably get away with, but stuff like the plus 30, man, you need to be going for those. You need to be going for the plus 30, just because, like I said, they're not bad, and you're not really losing, you know, it's like free stats. So you want to go for the socket bonuses. Work on going for socket bonuses. Check out this guy's profs. Inscription leatherworking, not bad. Drop inscript for NG, but that's just a suggestion. Inscription scribe offers plenty of stam. Okay, it's just a complete min-max spam point. It gives a lot more raid utility if you're an engineer. Okay. Now let's check out this guy's spec. Good glyphs. Use, yeah, okay. Here. Use VB glyph over AMS on all fights except madness. Okay. And your spec was good to go. Okay, so it's another one down. Let's go ahead and check out more Twitter stuff. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, we got hashtag boobs here. Let's check this guy out. Alright, this guy, we got a DK. Let's check out what he's got going on. Let's go ahead and throw him on the spreadsheet. DK. And start it out. Alright, gymming wise, alright, this guy's focused a little bit more on stamina. It's not necessarily but and then the guy in chat is asking, when you reforge, don't you lose 25%? No, you don't lose 25%. You don't lose anything. You just change 40% of the stat that you're selecting into 40% of the stat that you want. You know what I mean? So if you have, 100 mastery and you want to, or if you have 100 parry and you want to turn that into mastery, you lose 40% of that. So you're going to take 40, and then you'll get 40 of something else. You're not losing stats by reforging. Okay. see, moving on from there. This guy is kind of focused. He's got mastery, parry mastery. So I'm not really sure why you. Let's check out the slots that he's putting this full stam gems in. Probably okay. Blue socket. That is a blue socket, but he has a yellow gem in, so it's kind of inconsistent with this guy's gemming. Double gem. Oh yeah, it's don't really understand the gemming. Be consistent in your gemming patterns. You have both mastery stam gems and mastery parry gems, and then have full 75 stam gems as well. Okay, it's not you know, obviously it's not going to make you be able to not tank something, or keep you from tanking something rather, but like, you know, you kind of want to have a theme that you're going for and focusing in one area instead of just kind of being mix and match. It's and I'm not really sure the benefit of having so many stam gems, especially whenever you have blue sockets that you have hybrid gems in. So maybe you just have extra blue gems laying around or something. I'm not sure. But let's see. Going on from there, shows enchants. Good, 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 good. Good, 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 and good. So we're just going to comment here on enchants. Use Lava Walker on heavy movement fights. Alright. Stone Sand Gargoyle, that's a plus. Let's check out his Reforged Dodge and Mastery. Let's just give it a quick once over. Just check a few pieces of gear and make sure that it's correct. Dodge Mastery, parry into dodge, that's good. So it looks like he's going pretty good with the reforging. This is good to go. I'm sure you guys can hear my dog barking for the first time today after I turn the stream on. Just give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I'm not sure. I think my dog is just like has this weird thing for attention. It's like we just sit here, you know, throughout the day, not really anything going on, and then it's like, oh hey, the stream turned on. Let me just go bark at the cat for no reason, like unstop, like, you know, doesn't stop. Let's get back on the DK thing here. Okay, so this guy's reforging is good, engineering, enchanting, so his profs are good to go. Go ahead and comment on those. Then we're going to go ahead and check out his spec, okay. Doesn't have Dancing Rune Weapon glyph, has Death and Decay glyph. I would probably swap D&D glyph for Death Coil glyph, or either that or... What the hell? D&D glyph, 1 second. Okay, yeah, swap D&D glyph for either Rune Strike or Death Coil glyph. Spec, good there. Doesn't have Lichborn. I would highly recommend picking up Lichborn. Pick up Lichborn by dropping points from Virulence. I mean, you're not. I mean, are you kidding, man? 30% damage from your diseases. I mean, I'm not sure if you've ever looked at a log and looked at how much damage your diseases do, but it's so marginal, it's ridiculous. So I mean, those 3 points in there, that goes ahead and covers your Runic Power Mastery, and then 3 points in Blade Cape Blade gets you Lichborn. Okay. From BCB and Virulence. Okay. That is that. Also, oh yeah. Also use DRW glyph instead of AMS for better threat on the pull. Okay, now I'm going to go over a couple things about this real quick. A lot of people are like, well, Rig, I don't need threat on the pull. Threat's a joke now. Okay, let me explain something to you. You know, Threat is a joke now compared to what it was, you know, in Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, early Wrath, you know, things like that. I mean, it turned into more of a joke as Wrath went on, and then this X pack, it hasn't really been a factor at all. You know, they introduced Vengeance and all that stuff, but I'll explain something to you guys. It's the way that, you know, the first 10 to 15 seconds of picking a mob up, yes, threat is still important, okay? And if it's not important to you and your guild, you need to tell your DPS to play better, okay? And you need to also understand that you should not be taking a tricks from a rogue, okay? You don't need a damage amp. You give that damage amp to a DPS within your guild, okay? So if you're stealing a tricks from someone else just because you need help on the pull, okay, you need to stop doing that. You need to get out of the habit of doing that. If anything, get an MD, which costs 100 nothing, okay, unless you're a True Fire. But, you know, you guys get the point. You know, their threat should be an issue for you at the beginning of a fight. You know, it is what it is. So, you know, if you're under the mindset of, I don't need Dancing Rune Weapon Glyph, okay, well, you do if you're playing with really good players, okay? That's all I'm telling you, because, I mean, you have people that are, if you guys have ever watched the LFR DPS Challenge, okay, if you guys have ever watched that on Sundays, you go watch that from, I think, not this past week, but the week prior, you go watch that and tell me threat's not an issue. I mean, you have people doing 170k DPS because, like, any good players that you're playing with are going to, you know, be pre-potting, popping all the cooldowns, and going hard within the very beginning of the fight, all right? And threat still does matter because you never know if you're going to get a parry and you're only going to get 1 out of 3 attacks land. If that's the case, you're going to need the threat amp on that one hit that lands out of the first 3. You know, there's just no reason not to do it. And more than anything is that AMS Glyph doesn't do shit for you on any fight this tier except Madness, more or less, because you have a 5-second window with AMS unglyphed. If you can't pop AMS within that 5-second window, you need to get better at doing what you're doing. And that's not directed at any, I'm not directing that at this guy. I see a lot of people, I mean, if you scroll through this Armory chat audit thing, or Armory audit spreadsheet, you will see a lot of people that I've said do that, to take out AMS Glyph. I'm not sure why so many people use the AMS Glyph. I mean, it makes it easier. You can pop the, you know, you can pop AMS and it gives you another 2-second buffer. But if you're doing it correctly, you don't need that 2-second buffer. You know, you're going to pop the AMS when you know magic damage is coming. Say Hour of Twilight on Altraxian. You know, forget the fact that your AMS is doubled because of the, you know, Fault Last Defender of Azeroth buff. Let's say that that wasn't in place, okay? You would have a 5-second window to pop that for the Hour of Twilight. You don't need a 7-second window. You know what I mean? And pretty much any fight like that. Say, go back to last expat. You have Cindergosa. You know the breaths are coming. You don't need a 7-second window. You can make it happen with a 5-second window. The only fights where you can justify using AMS in PvE are fights where they're like long-standing debuffs that it kind of buys you enough time to let it reset. You know what I mean? And even then, that's stuff like, I think you can make it work on Conclave of Wind because the 7 seconds puts you right there where it would reset. But then you look at stuff like Alakir. Sure, the 7 seconds would have made it easier to reset, but you didn't need it. You know what I mean? The reason that I like it on Spine is just because it keeps, whenever you're tanking the Regenerative Bloods, that is when it's really good to pop. You know what I mean? You can pop it on the Regenerative Bloods, and it keeps them from applying the debuff for an additional 2 seconds. That's a different situation. It just depends on the fight, and it depends on how the magic damage is incoming. More times than not, the AMS is not going to be, like, you don't need it to be 7 seconds. So, I mean, that's kind of off on a large tangent about that, but I bring it up because I see so many people using the AMS Glyph. There's just no need. You're wasting a Glyph spot, okay? Let's see. Okay, got time to go through a few more of these. If you guys have tank questions, man, throw them in there. All right. Actually, before we go over another one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a log real quick of this past week. I know we had a guy in here last week. I think he was talking about his Hagara. Where is this? Okay, JK. Did not have a parser in the raid. Well, isn't that a bitch? Okay. Well, I was going to go through my Paladin 10-man parse and show that guy, but apparently the parse didn't get uploaded. So that is what it is. Let me see if beta servers are back up, and if those are back up, I want to get into this. I want to get into the, you know, Warrior Feral Druid thing. Let's see if these are back up yet. If they're not, we're going to continue with the armory, Q&A, and things like that. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. That's taking too long. Let's get back to some armory audits. So go back to the Twitter. Let's refresh. Let's see if you can come up with a good hashtag. Let's see if we got anything. Main tank for my guild. Need advice for heroic spine. Okay, so we got a heroic spine specific armory to look over. Alright, so let's check this guy out. That's a good little tidbit of info. So we can go over this. This guy's a warrior. And then we'll start it from there. First off, we're going to take his name and put it in this. Okay, how do we go back here? So like a home button. Okay, whatever. We'll just do it like this. Razor blades from Turalion. Okay. Boom. Let's turn on Mark of the Wild, Mastery Food, Horn of Winter. Okay. That, and that. Alright. 102.4. He is at 1. Okay, so this guy, I'm pretty sure we go ahead and say, alright, look. Mastery stamp, boom. This guy's all about it already. So, good shit. Good shit, good shit. Work on getting those last, so just go ahead and comment on his gymming. Work on getting those last few gems into epics. Okay. From there, let's look at also we're going to put in use shield block meta on all fights except your Sage and Madness. And let's see. My dog has pulled in some type of bone in my floor. Hang on one second. Come here. Come here. This is the little fiend that you guys hear barking all the time when the stream is going. Alright? I'm not sure what his motives are, but this is the culprit. Alright? Is a dachshund. Huh. What are you barking at? Do you even know? Do you even know what you're barking at? Alright. Let's see. Back to this. Just had to get him over here. Pet him for a second. Hopefully he stops barking. Go back to the stream here. And, where were we at? Looking at his enchants. Greater stand, boom, 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 good, good, good. Good, 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 good. Okay. We are going, I'm going to go ahead and, awesome job on the precious ribbon shirt. Alright, a little flavor comment there. Now we're going to take a look at professions, jewel crafting, blacksmithing. If you want to be super moto and hardcore about killing spine, drop JC and pick up engineering. Okay, I'm not sure the average gold of the average raider. Engineering shouldn't cost you more than a few K to level. I'm not sure if you're one of those guys that has all the JC patterns and doesn't want to re-level, but it'd definitely be pretty cool if you could pick up engineering for rocket boots. And even if you don't want to risk those malfunctioning while kiting, you can put in the target dummy and pop that, and it will make them all focus that and give you enough time to run away from them. So, let's see here. Oh, the guy was pointed out in the stream chat. I didn't check this. It says you're going, ignore the socket bonus. Ignore the socket bonus from your weapon. Just use a 50 mastery gem in place of that. Okay, so good catch. The guy from chat caught that. Alright. Looking at his reforging, it's all into dodge mastery. We'll just, pick a few pieces at random here and check them out. Parrying a dodge, that's good. And we got parrying a dodge, that's good. Hasn't touched it. Okay, another thing I'm going to put on here is also pick up tier shoulders if possible. Huge mastery gain from the ones you're wearing. Okay. Here, check out his spec. Okay, do not need gag order, and you need to put the points from gag order into insight, as well as, yeah, that would be about it. Okay. Move 2 points from gag order into insight. Or it's called like insight, like that. Okay. Good and good. Glyphs. Good. Boom. Alright, so there's another one down. Knock that out. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this link to this page on my Twitter. And we will make sure it works. Whoops. Useful CTC calc tool. Huge thanks to Center. Okay, so that's that. Go ahead and put that out there, and that way you guys can, have that around if you ever need it. If you guys haven't followed me on Twitter, make sure, again, to go ahead and do that real quick. Let's see. Let's go through here and try to find any questions that people may have as far as any of this stuff. Okay, so guys, would you say I use the Raid Finder Girth, the Pit Lord for the extra 300 mastery until I get an experimental? Okay, so if any of the DKs that are here, I'm going to go ahead and bring this guy's armory back up because it's a pretty good question. It's this guy right here. Okay, you see he's tanking with the Gold Threat, Voice of the Deeps. Yeah, it has a higher stand value and whatnot. But something that people need to understand, there are no stats, no passive stats on here and things like that. So what we're going to do is girth select. So we're going to compare this versus, you have the Raid Finder? Okay, so he has a Raid Finder. So let's go with this, compare. Okay, and then we're going to add, what's the name of that one? Pit Lord. Boom. Okay. So these are your two. You got the basically what the guy's asking is, should he use the 5-man mace or the girth from Raid Finder? All right. So what you're losing here, you're losing 72 stamina, and you're gaining. You'll reforge this expertise into mastery, as well as so whatever 40% of 265 is. And what is that roughly? It's like 130. I don't know, probably about like 120. I'm not a math guy, man. Probably something around 120. So you're looking at pretty decent mastery gain, to be honest with you. The way that you want to do it. I mean, if you're ever confronted with, do I use Girth Lack as a tanking weapon? The way that I do it, put a rune on your girth that the Fallen Crusader rune on the Girthalak, and then you have a Stoneskin Gargoyle on your tanking weapon. And what you do is you just have a weapon macro that switches out weapons, and you just keybind it. And the way that I do it is, when I pull, I have on a Girthalak, and then you pull, you get an Unholy Strength proc, you're doing work, blah blah blah. You get solid on threat, and at that point you just hit your weapon swap macro. For me, I just have it bound to Shift middle mouse button. I hit those two, and then I put on a weapon with Stoneskin Gargoyle on it. So. And if you ever say the other tank tanks off of you, just switch back, get more DPS in. You know what I mean? Tank DPS matters. It's just not your #1 priority. So You know, as a DK, you definitely want to have two sets or two weapons. One with Fallen Crusader on it, which is best in most cases. It's best and most optimal to be a girth, and you know, you have your other defensive weapon, which is something with mastery on it, and the secondary stat reforges into dodge. So, and then with that weapon, you have Stone Skin Gargoyle. So, for any DK tank out there, that's kind of what you guys need to be making sure that you're doing. Two weapons, two different rune reforges, and things like that. Okay. This guy is asking, does pH work on spine? No, piercing out does not work on spine. You cannot slow the bloods. They are just innately slower than you are, and you have to kite them just based off of your move faster than those. Okay, so I mean that's kind of how that goes. You cannot slow them with piercing howl, chill blains, ring of frost, crippling, earthbind, none of that shit. All right, it does not work. Let's see here. Going back here, we're going to knock out probably one more off my Twitter. And we'll see where we're at. Let's go to connect. I'll show you this guy's let's see. Whoops. This guy's telling me to go back for a week. What's your name, man? If you submit it, I'll go through and find it on the spreadsheet. This Ren Darks guy. Tell me what your name is, and I'll go through and see if I have it on there. While I'm waiting on him to reply, let's see. After that question, would you have any tips for a Blood DK on a Malgs and Heroic Spine? I go through exactly how a Blood Death Knight would tank Heroic Spine. If you guys scroll down and click on the YouTube channel, you know, click on that, and it will take you to a walkthrough that I did, and you guys can, you know, just go through that, and it will give you the in-depth, every detail that you need, and you can actually watch it from my POV, how to tank a Malgs. So, a general suggestion for a Prot Warrior and Heroic Spine, as far as glyphs and enchants, enchants shouldn't change, really, depending on the fight at all. You should have the same enchants across the board. As far as general suggestions or tips, make sure you can kite very well, because if you're a warrior on that fight, you should be the one kiting. This guy's saying, finds out when. Man, not showing up, broski. Let me see if I can find it. Tell me the line that it's on, and I'll see if I can get it out of here. For this Windrex guy. Because I am not seeing it. Is Resolve of Undying a no over Mastery Trinket for Warrior? Yes, that's correct. The Mastery of the Mastery, or any trinket really, is going to be better than the Dodge Proc Trinket. Just dodge. I mean, avoidance is, in general, bros, it's not really the way to go, because you can't control it. You don't really want to be in the habit of doing something like that. Let's see, this guy said he put it in here 2 weeks ago. Let's scroll down and find it here. Alright, so let's see. When? Oh, it's still not showing up, bro. Go further. That's as far back as it goes, man. It's as far back as it goes, man. And I'm not seeing it. Okay, so you'd have to toss it back on there. Where? Where? You guys are seeing it, but I'm not seeing it. Why is the search feature not working? Alright, here we go. Got it. Let's make it happen. Got a prop warrior. Gnome type. Alright, so we're going to go down here. Going to do this and then go over some questions after this. And go from there. Alright, so we got a warrior. This guy is named Winrex. So we're going to go ahead and toss him in this. It's from Blade Fist. And then we're going to get this. We're going to turn on this, and oh, whoops, this. Okay. One sec. Master food. 1, 2, 4, 6, 2. Okay, so what that person was talking about earlier, they wanted to reforge mastery into parry. Okay, this is exactly what I'm telling you here. Like, check this out. If you're getting 90 parry, you see his CTC ends up at 104.19. Well, if you're getting the mastery, it's more. The mastery is going to be more than your avoidance. So keep that in mind if you're ever dealing with CTC, and that goes for a paladin as well. Doubly so for a paladin. So let's check this guy out here. Looks like he's got mastery, stam, mastery, shield block value. That's good. Let's just check out, make sure he's not missing any socket bonuses or something like that. He's got it going on. He's got it going on. He's got it going on. Triple JC. Looking good. Getting all the socket bonuses. That's good. Okay, so gemming all around. Or yeah, it's good to go. Good work on getting epic gems. Work on getting the rest of your gems epic. Alright, and let's check out his enchants real quick. Stam, dodge, mastery, boom, boom, boom. This guy's all about it. All about it. So he's solid. Solid. Check out his props. Blacksmithing, jewel crafting. Same thing I told the last guy. Pick up engineering. Take out the comment about spine. They're good to go. Check out his reforging, dodge, and mastery. Just audit a couple pieces. Parry and dodge. Left that alone. Left that alone. Parry and dodge. Okay, so it looks like he's got it going on with his reforging. Check out his spec. It's good. Does not have points in. Okay, this is a good build. The only downside of this guy's build is potential rage starvation, but he probably has a better feel for that than I do. Solid spec, as long as you have the rage to afford it. Okay, and the reason I say that is because you're missing out on a lot of extra rage when you block and things like that, and you're blocking a lot. But again, as long as he's got the rage to sustain that, the reason that I like his spec is because he has safeguard. You see a lot of warriors that do not pick up safeguard, and that's not necessarily wrong, but if you're able to pick it up and you can swing that, you should, because it's such a large cooldown. You know what I mean? It's a 30-second cooldown for 30% damage reduction. I mean, it's just too good to not pick up most of the time. And it's not essential, but it's kind of one of the raid utility positives to having a prot warrior in the raid. Okay, so I really like that he's picked up safeguard here. As far as glyphs, like I said, it's pretty hard to fuck up on a prot warrior. It looks pretty good to go in that regard. So he was good across the board. So sorry it took me 2 weeks to get to it, man. I got a lot of them that I kind of bounce around through. And, that is, that'll be the last audit that we're doing right now. What I'm going to do at this point is take any questions that you guys have about tanking, about, anything related to tanking on beta, tanking on live, you name it. You guys go ahead and throw some questions in there, and we'll go ahead. We've got about 8 minutes left in the show, and we can go over any questions that you guys have. Even if you guys have parses or anything like that, we'll make it happen. Okay, so 8 minutes. Let's get the ball rolling. Throw out any questions you guys have, and we'll go. For a warrior tank on spine, would heroic spider silk spindle be the best alternative to resolve undying? Yes, yes it would. That is correct. What do I think of the new Druid Mastery? I think that it's really good. I mean, I just like the design of the Druid altogether. They kind of like changed it to where you're not attacking to get reduction, you're attacking to get rage to use for either physical mitigation or magic or amplified healing through magic damage and things like that. So I would love to have went over that today, but it seems that beta servers are down. If they're up tomorrow, we'll make it happen tomorrow. So I'm not bailing on my end of the bargain. We will do a walkthrough for both Warrior and Guardian Druid as soon as DK or the beta servers come back up. What priority do you use as a blood DK? I'm not sure what you mean by that. You'll have to clarify. This guy's here. 1% shield block meta is just as good as the other meta gem. The person, I think it was a Spazodon from Vigil, he actually linked a spreadsheet that had the math in it for there, and it was basically you'll have more block, you'll mitigate more damage through having the shield block meta through blocking, but if it's a fight, say Madness, you can't block, you want to have the armor because the block isn't doing anything for you. One guy asked up here, do Druids still have the same mechanics? CTC, Druids never had the same mechanics, they're completely separate, okay? You don't have block on a Druid, so that's why it's different. Real quick, a lot of people end up asking about spine. Okay, so what's going to happen here? I'm going to go to my YouTube. I'm going to let you guys see this stuff. If you guys trust, or you guys just do me a favor, I'm going to link my YouTube. If you guys can subscribe to this, I would really appreciate it. And I mean, all I'm asking you to do is, hit subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. I'm trying to get, as many subscribers as I can on this, because the more subscribers I have and the more people that are following the stream, the more we're able to do things like we're doing now and just, providing information to people free of charge. Okay, and I'm willing to do this as long as you guys are willing to help me help you. Okay, so if you don't mind, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I upload every one of these shows on here, and I keep them organized in the correct playlists. If you scroll down the right side here, here's all the different playlists that stuff gets uploaded to. You've got, Mists of Pandaria action. Then we've got Monday's show, which is the Heroic Dragon Soul boss walkthrough. Weekly raid leader stuff. Tank Q&As, which is what we're doing right now. This will be uploaded on there tomorrow. Thursday Tank Talk. And we also have, the Sunday DPS Challenge and then the special guest interview. So, I mean, all this stuff it's a ton of information that I want people to be able to use it because it's a lot there, speaking from the stance of, we're one of the better guilds out there and there's a lot to learn if you guys are, wanting to do so. So, and the reason I open this up is I wanted to show you guys, if you click on the weekly boss walkthrough section, okay, what's going to happen here is there is a spine walkthrough, okay, and a lot of people are talking about spine. A lot of people have questions about spine. If you go to this is like a 2-hour, it's 3 parts. It got split 3 times. So, and all the links are in the comments here. And this is like a, over a 2-hour walkthrough from every detail of the fight altogether. And I mean, it has our videos, pause, and walkthrough. I mean, excuse me, a lot of people have questions about tanking on this fight, and if you go to this and watch it, I can promise you it will make a lot more of it make sense, and it will make a lot more of it just click as far as what needs to happen, why it needs to happen, and how it needs to happen. Okay, let's see. What are different ways to hit your CTC cap? CTC cap is a combined value from your dodge, parry, block, miss, and this is like some of that. Let me see. Dodge, parry, block, which is what your mastery is coming for, and then the there's like a 5% baked-in chance from the boss to be able to miss you. So all that combined, it's supposed to add up to 102.4. Don't ask me why that's a magic number. I'm sure there's some threads out there that could explain that. I just know that it is 102.4 and things like that. So. Oh, here's the home button that I was looking for. Cool. Anyways, let's see how many people I actually had subscribed. Okay, boom. 35. That's good. Or no, 25. Let's see. What's your comment about DK gym builds, full mastery or full stamina? What is more helpful? If you scroll down in the stream, man, there's a link. I'll go ahead and put it in chat for you guys as well. There is a guide that I wrote up to a Death Knight. It's very lengthy and very in depth. I'll just scroll through it so you guys get an idea of how long it is. I wrote every bit of this, and it covers any and everything that you need to know about playing a Death Knight, why you need to gym, and how you need to gym. And this is all from a standpoint of, you know, being one of the only DKs in a top end guild. There's only a few guilds that actually use a Death Knight tank, and it's not due to, you know, lack of viability. It's just, you know, I don't know the lack of representation, but it is what it is. And you know, it's definitely capable. You know, just go ahead and take a look through there, and it tells you any and everything you need to know about a Death Knight. Let's see. As a Feral Druid tank specifically on Heroic Madness, should the Druid have a hard-on for Agi-Stam hybrid gems? No, not really. I mean, if you're just focusing on Madness, you just need to be going Stamina. Okay, sure, the Agi is going to increase the amount your absorbs go, but I mean, it's not going to be better than the Stamina. Not to mention that on two of the first two platforms and then the final platform, your Stamina is going to scale with the HP buff, whereas the Agi will not. Okay. When playing a DK tank, is Rune of Sword Shattering better than Stone Skin Gargoyle? Have you ever had more parry than dodge? That just goes into what I said about this DK guide. Go through and read it. It basically gives you a rundown of why I think avoidance is inferior to mastery. And you know, I'm sure you're going to have people that have sims, and you're going to be able to look at a sim and be like, oh, well, the avoidance build simmed out lower damage. Well, that's cool and all, but what it didn't show you is you can get your face melted but with having an avoidance build and not be able to do shit about it. You know what I mean? That mastery gives you more consistency and more control over what's going on than the avoidance. You know what I mean? Like, you know when you're going to death strike. You know when that's going to happen. You know, you don't have to be like, oh man, I hope I dodge or parry this attack. It just doesn't work like that, man. Best combo tank classes for 10-man DS normal. You can make it happen. It just depends on the player, man. Depends on the player. What does you druid? I guess what do I do on my druid for CDs on impales? With the Baradin Hold Trinket. I don't use the Baradin Hold Trinket. I use double stam trinket, and I just bark skin and dream, bark skin and shield wall, bark skin and shield wall, and then bark skin and last stand. You don't even need the shield wall on a druid. You can just get a sack and bark skin, and that's enough. What DK weapons do I use per fight? I use the Heroic Girthalak for a pull with Rune of Fallen Crusader on it, and then once the pull's over, 10 or 15 seconds in the fight, I use a weapon swap macro and go to the Specimen Slicer off your size with a Fallen Crusader, or I'm sorry, with Stone Skin Gargoyle. As a Blood DK, I have been tanking the Amalg for our Spine attempts, and our Bear Druid is on Bloods. How much more damage? He does much more damage on the tendon than I do, but I can't DPS because of Blood's meleeing. Okay, but he can't DPS because Blood's meleeing him. Any recommendation? You should. Okay, if you have too many Bloods to DPS the tendon on the first two plates, you're doing it wrong. Okay, you should have a very, very minimal amount of Bloods, and what I mean by very, very minimal, I'm saying like the healing rain that's on the ground, and throw a hot or something on the druid, and he's not going to die. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not going to happen. He should be able to go cat, no problem, and make it happen, okay? On the third plate, he shouldn't be DPSing the tendon anyways, okay? You should be making sure that the Bloods are under control and that the DPS do the job on the tendon. The third plate, you have Lust, so it shouldn't be an issue. As a Blood DK, should you stack one rating to keep the other rating lower on DR? Should I balance the two ratings out? You want to keep them balanced. You want to have roughly the same amount of dodge and parry. You want to have them as equal as possible. What do you think about full stam over mastery? Go read the thing that I just linked. Let's see. Do you normally read and keep up on elitist shirt DK tank threads, or do you prefer as an alternative forum for info? I used to frequent the EJ threads quite a bit. I used to contribute there, but it just got to the point where I really felt like I was arguing with people that didn't understand what they were talking about, and I would rather just do it on the stream. I would rather you guys just come here, ask questions, and I can get, I mean, the more, there's a few people in there that know what they're talking about. I think that Lair guy on EJ, he's had a lot of good posts, but there's some posts, I think that guy named Asphyxia, like, there's a couple of other, there was one other guy that thought he was, you know, the best thing since peanut butter. I'm not sure, I don't remember his name, but yeah, there's just a few people in there that, you know, they talk about things whenever they, you know, there's a large difference between looking at something and commenting on it and, like, actually being the people that are in there doing it, and, you know, being one of the DK tanks that is in there during progression, you know, trying to kill a boss that no one has killed yet. It kind of changes things, you know what I mean? It's just, you've got a different view than a lot of other people will. And I'm not saying they're wrong, I'm just saying I don't agree with them, and it's not worth getting in there and arguing about. Okay? Let's see. Couple more questions here. You recommend using Bloodlust for a third tendon to burn or to kill the amal between the burns? The way that you want to do it is you pop it whenever you're going into the tendon, and it will still be up coming out of the tendon for about 10 seconds, and that's free on the free burn on that amalg. Okay, so you want it on the tendon though. It doesn't give a shit. It doesn't matter if you're on. You should be able to have all your DPS on that amalg at that point, and it'd be a non-issue. Okay. No, the light you guys see is just a lamp I have in the corner. Okay. Let's see. The person's asking, am I going to lock and miss? It depends how viable the lock tank is. From what I understand, they're trying to make it a full-blown tank, one of the specs. So if so, I'll eventually end up leveling one and giving it a shot. Okay. But you know, we'll have to see how that works. Either way it goes, it's a lot of good questions. Hopefully you guys actually learned something. I hope so, at least. I got to go through a few of the army audits. Thanks again for people submitting those on Twitter. As far as the game plan for the remainder of the night, we have an 8 out of 8 Heroic Dragon Soul raid coming up in less than an hour. So you guys make sure to stay around for that. And, you know, we may have something planned. If beta's up afterwards, we'll hop on there and do some stuff as well. Okay. Yeah, good stuff. Appreciate you guys watching the stream. I'm going to go chill out a little bit before the raid. If you guys have any questions that I was unable to answer, go ahead and throw them on my Twitter. I go through there every few days and answer a few of the questions. It's gotten to the point where I can't really answer every single one of them like I like to. But, you know, make sure you're following me on Twitter and post any questions that you have on here. And hopefully I'm able to get to them. Okay, so thanks again. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll have this uploaded on YouTube within the next 24 hours. You know, make sure... Quick rundown. Follow the stream if you're new here. This is a daily and weekly event. Also, subscribe to my YouTube. Follow me on Twitter. And if you guys, you know, don't care, you can hit the chip in button below and help getting this stream towards getting 1080p quality for you guys. All right. So thanks again. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to stick around for the raid tonight. That's pretty much it. All right. Good talk.